Hello everyone, and welcome to our Environment Vocabulary Builder. Today, we're going to learn 20 essential words you need for talking about the environment, perfect for your studies, exams, or just everyday English. In this lesson, we'll cover all 20 important environment vocabulary words, grouped by topic. You'll get to practice each word with real-world examples, mini quizzes, and fun activities. Let's get started and master English for a greener world. Here's what you'll learn today. Essential vocabulary about the environment. Useful practice activities. Real-life examples to help you remember each word. By the end of this lesson, you'll feel much more confident discussing environmental topics in English. Let's begin with our first group, environmental issues. We'll look at 5 important words that often come up in news, exams, and daily life. The first word is pollution. Pollution means the presence of harmful substances in the environment. For example, air pollution in cities can cause serious health problems. Can you think of a type of pollution in your city or country? Our next word is deforestation. This means the removal of large areas of forest. For example, deforestation leads to loss of habitat for many species. Why do you think deforestation is a problem for animals? Now let's look at greenhouse gases. These are gases that trap heat in the atmosphere. For example, carbon dioxide is one of the most common greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases contribute to global warming. Can you name another greenhouse gas? Next is climate change. Climate change means long-term changes in global or regional weather patterns. For example, scientists warn that climate change will affect sea levels. How do you think climate change affects people's lives? The last word in this group is biodiversity. Biodiversity is the variety of plant and animal life in a region. For example, protecting biodiversity is crucial for ecosystem health. Why do you think biodiversity is important for our planet? Let's check your understanding with a quick quiz. Match the word to the correct definition. The removal of forests. Gases that trap heat. The presence of harmful substances. Long-term changes in weather. The variety of living things. Pause the video now, write your answers, and then continue when you're ready. Let's move on to Group 2, conservation and protection. These words will help you talk about how we care for the environment and protect nature. Our first word here is sustainable. Sustainable means using resources in a way that does not harm the environment. For example, sustainable farming protects soil and water quality. Can you think of a way people in your community use resources sustainably? Next, renewable energy. This means energy from sources that are not depleted, such as wind or solar power. For example, wind and solar power are examples of renewable energy. What renewable energy sources are common in your country? Now let's look at conservation. Conservation means the protection and preservation of natural resources. For example, wildlife conservation helps prevent species extinction. Why is conservation important for our world? Our next word is endangered. Endangered means at risk of becoming extinct. For example, the panda is an endangered species. Do you know any endangered animals in your country? The last word in this group is habitat. A habitat is the natural home of a plant or animal. For example, deforestation destroys the habitat of many animals. Why is protecting animal habitats so important? Let's practice. Fill in the blank with the correct word. Wind and solar are forms of blank energy. The tiger is an blank species. Forest blank is important for rare birds. It's important to use blank methods to protect nature. The ocean is the blank of many marine animals. Pause the video and write your answers, or share them in the comments.
Let's move to Group 3, Human Impact. These words describe how people affect the environment, sometimes in negative ways. The first word is emissions. Emissions are gases and particles released into the air. For example, car emissions contribute to air pollution. What are some ways we can reduce emissions? Our next word is waste. Waste means unwanted materials or substances left after use. For example, recycling reduces the amount of waste sent to landfills. How do you reduce waste at home or school? Now let's talk about overpopulation. Overpopulation is when there are too many people living in an area for the available resources. For example, overpopulation puts pressure on water supplies. Why can overpopulation cause problems for the environment? Next is depletion. Depletion means the reduction of something until it is used up. For example, overfishing leads to the depletion of fish stocks. Can you give an example of a natural resource that is being depleted? The last word in this group is ecosystem. An ecosystem is a community of living things and their environment. For example, wetlands are important ecosystems for many species. Why are healthy ecosystems important for our planet? Let's do a quick activity. Listen to each clue and try to guess the word. I am unwanted materials sent to landfill. Who am I? I describe the loss of natural resources. Who am I? I am a system of living things interacting with their environment. Who am I? Pause the video and see if you can answer all three. Share your answers with the class or in the comments. Let's finish with Group 4, Solutions and Innovations. These words are all about how we can solve environmental problems and create a better future. First, we have recycling. Recycling means converting waste into reusable material. For example, recycling paper helps save trees. What do you recycle at home or school? Now let's talk about carbon footprint. Your carbon footprint is the amount of carbon dioxide you or your group produces. For example, flying increases your carbon footprint. What can you do to lower your carbon footprint? Next, alternative energy. This is energy that does not come from fossil fuels. For example, hydroelectric power is an alternative energy source. What types of alternative energy can you name? The next word is organic, means produced without chemicals or artificial methods. For example, organic farming avoids synthetic pesticides. Do you try to buy organic food? Our last word is legislation. Legislation means laws or regulations, often related to environmental protection. For example, new legislation limits industrial emissions. Why is legislation important for protecting the environment? Now let's practice. Choose the correct word to complete each sentence. New, blank, will help reduce pollution. Planting trees can help lower your, blank. Composting is a form of, blank. Solar is an example of, blank, energy. Blank, food is grown without chemicals. Pause here and see if you can fill in all the blanks. Let's review. Can you remember 3 words from each group? Write your favorite new word in the comments and use it in a sentence. The best way to learn new vocabulary is to use it in real situations, so don't be shy. Let's get speaking. 1. Try giving a short talk about an environmental problem in your city or country. Explain why it's a problem, and suggest one possible solution. 2. Or, discuss with a friend. Do you think individuals or governments have a bigger role in protecting the environment? What are some everyday actions people can take to reduce their carbon footprint? Practicing out loud will really help you remember today's words. You can download today's environment vocabulary worksheet, including all the activities and answer key, from www.SparkSkyTech.com. The link in the description below. If you want to build your English vocabulary even faster, check out my Ultimate Vocabulary Builder Notion template at www.SparkSkyTech.com. It's packed with topic-by-topic vocabulary, practice activities, and progress trackers, perfect for learners, teachers, and exam takers. And don't forget, like this video if you found it helpful. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a lesson. Share your answers, questions, and favorite words in the comments below. Thanks for learning with me. See you in the next lesson.